limit the definition of God to one word or one sentence, because there are several passages in the Bible which talks about the definition of God or who God is. So I would bring in two or three words to describe him, then I'll leave the rest for my brother. First of all, we know the beautiful world around us. The science people try to explain it that yes, the world started with a small atom or something like that. But in a normal sense, when we look at it, we can see that it cannot be possible. It must be done by a supreme being. Therefore, God is somebody who created this heaven and the universe that is surrounding us. So when you read Psalm 90, verse 1 and 2, it makes us understand that yes, he has been there for generations. Generations has come, they've gone, but he's still there, and he's the one who created these things that are around us. So first of all, he's the one who created all these things that we see, the human beings around us, the trees, the animals, and all these things. He is the one who created it. And also he is the sustainer of life. All life came into being because of God. Because if you read Colossians chapter 1 verses 17, it says that through him that life is sustained. So life wouldn't have been possible if God wasn't around. So he is the one who sustained life. So there's something small I can say about who.
When Moses approached the burning bush and then had a conversation with God, he asked God who should he say sent him. And over there, God identified himself as I am that I am. The idea over here is that God is self-existent. And what we get from this is that there is a being that does not owe his existence to anyone else.
Is an uncaused cause. Am I right?
Yes.
Nice. That's nice. When you brought in the book Exodus, I think something came in mind. In the book of Exodus, King Pharaoh also asked this same question. He asked Moses, who at all is God that I should fear him?
Yes.
So yes, I also want to ask you people have explained who God is. So why should we even fear him? So in other words, who at all is God and why should we even fear him?
In the book of Exodus, King Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I may obey his voice? The Egyptians were religious, but they did not believe in a divine being, or King Pharaoh over there was not, the message he was sending was he's not accountable to the God that Moses is talking about. But the God we are talking about is the creator of the universe. He created us. We live on his earth. The food we eat, the air we breathe, everything we have belongs to him. We are accountable to him. And what this means is that there is going to be a time that we have to tell God whether we use the resources he gave to us well or not. Someone who does not use the resources well would receive punishment. Someone who has used his life and the resources well would also be rewarded. Now, considering the punishment and the reward, we therefore must learn more about him, find out how to live our lives before him, so that when it's time to render account, we would receive a reward and not punishment. And for that reason, we must find ourselves, we must be accountable to him.
Right. Thank you so much, Elom. Does anybody want to add something?
Okay, so I'll just touch on some few things, just like my brother said from the beginning. That's the God that we are talking about in Exodus, as he quoted from Exodus chapter 3, verse number 14. That God said he is who he is. He quotes, I am that I am. That's what God said. And truly, from the beginning, as my brother said, he existed. So from the very beginning of the Bible, the scripture, in Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So even in the beginning of the Bible, he declared himself that he existed. So in John chapter 1, verse number 1, it comes to say that in the beginning, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And the Word was through what God created all things. So we come to understand that from the beginning he existed. So just like my brother said, he is self-existent. We can't actually limit him to the time that we are in, because he created the universe and then everything in it. So we can't limit him by our universe that we live in. You get my...
All right, thank you so much, Christopher. So you people kept on saying he, and Christopher brought in the idea of John chapter 1. But in John chapter 1, we realized the Bible was speaking about Christ. So does it mean God is not just one person, or we have multiple gods? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because the question is life without God, and we want to understand who God is. So if we are talking about who God is, and we've seen in the Bible that Christ is God, does it mean Christ is the God? Like, I don't know if you get me. Christ is the God we are talking about here, or so? Yes, please let us understand who God is.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 1 says that, and Moses called all Israel and said to them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your hearing today, that you may learn them and be careful to observe them. And then there is something called the schema, where it says that the Lord our God is one Lord. There are three persons in the Godhead, but there is one God. And what we mean by this is that the nature, the qualifications to be called divine or to be called God is only one. And whoever meets that qualification is called God. And there are three persons who meet these qualifications. So we see in the beginning that the Father was present. John chapter 1 verse 1 also talks about Jesus Christ. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God, and all things were made through him, and nothing was made that was made. That was talking about Jesus Christ. And then when you go down with the reading, it's also going to say that the Word put on flesh, which also specifies it. And talking,
I think it's now clear. You've made us understand that what people claim that Christians are worshiping multiple gods is a false statement, but we worship one God.
Yes.
But there are three persons God. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yes.
the
All right,
triune
thank
nature.
you. Pardon me?
He said the triune nature.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we want to understand the topic, life without God. What at all is life without God? I don't know if you get the question. What
Yeah.
is life without God? Like is it a phrase?
Yes.
Life without God. So what at all is it?
All right, so life without God. Some people might argue that life without God is atheism or something like that. But for me, I don't see life without God to be atheism, because for them, they see that God does not even exist. But life without God is you living a life and not being under the umbrella of God. The rules and regulations that God has set forth, you don't want to live by it, but you want to live a life which is according to your own will. So whatever God has set in place, you want to live that life that is with God's will, but you want to live a life that is against his will. So whatever you feel it's the best, that's what you want your life to be. So one clear example that Jesus Christ made when he was on earth was the parable of the prodigal son. That's Luke chapter 5. But we see it as something which is against our will, which is not best for us. So we live a different life. So when you come to university or when you move to outside the world, we try to live a life that we see is the best, which in turn is not a life that somebody who has been created by God should not live that life. So a life without God is living a life with God not in it, living a life without living according to the rules and regulations set by God.
All right. Thank you so much, Andy. So basically, life without God is living a life without the instructions.
true meaning. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 tells us that God has put eternity in our hearts. At some point, someone will think about death. What happens after this life? Is there more to the physical life? And such feeling in our heart is only satisfied when we have thought about God, when we have a relationship with God. And that relationship is what fills the void in our heart and tells us that no matter what comes our way, even the unknown, which is death, that we would still have assurance of everything being fine with us. And a life without God is a life that does not recognize God and is deprived of these privileges, and a life that is filled with just misery and non-fulfillment. And that's the life that no one should try to live.
That's life without God. Christopher, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I'll add something small from Ephesians chapter number 2, verse number 12. when Paul wrote this letter to the church in Ephesus,
Okay.
reminding them of who they were when they were Gentiles and then they knew nothing about God. So in Ephesians chapter number 2, verse number 12, it says that at the time you were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. So Paul told them that at that time that they were not aware or they did not know Christ, they were foreigners, and then they did not gain the benefits that the people of Israel.
Also, you will not get the hope that those who live their life all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it calls to memory Judges chapter 2, verse number 10, where it was written that after a generation died and a new generation came, they did not know the Lord and the works that He had done for the people of Israel. So they not knowing the God means they were not obeying God's commandments. Thank you so much, Elom, Andy, and Christopher. So once again, this is Searching Through the Scriptures by the KNUST Church of Christ. And this evening we are learning, or we are discussing, a life without God. So my next question, can someone actually live a life without God? Is it possible to live that mission?
So, I'll add something small.
You've been adding a lot this evening.
Okay, so I want to make it quite practical. I'm using some campus illustrations for all of us to understand what we are actually talking about. So here on the KNUST campus, every student has a unique student ID and then index number.
Yeah.
So maybe you can also choose that from the people, from the faculty of the School of Business. We used to wear blue. We wear blue. So you can choose to also wear blue and then always follow us to classroom, study what we are also studying. But then at the end of the 4 years that we are all going, we know truly that we are under the laws of KNUST. And so the degree program that we are pursuing, we are going to, it's possible that you will not acknowledge him. But then in all aspects of life, you need him. So no matter the attempts that you try, you can't make it in that way.
All right, thank you so much, Christopher. So this brings another question. Why then do people try to reject God and live any life? Because you've been saying you can't live without God, right? And then people are attempting to do so. So why do they do that at all? Why?
Okay, so one thing that I'll bring in is science and faith. So,
What do you mean?
science and faith.
Okay.
Sometimes these two things contradict themselves. I would say science contradicts what faith says. Because science might say, oh, creation started from this, started from here. Maybe this is the source of this. This is how this comes about. And the Bible would also say a different thing. Oh, God is the one who created the heavens and the earth. God is the one who gives life.
Sometimes people are biased based on their faith.
People are biased based on their faith.
Yes.
All right.
So someone already holds the belief that there is no God because he doesn't want to be accountable to anyone. And this influences their teachings when it comes to their work. So we have atheistic scientists who propose theories that are not scientific. And such scientific theories are accepted by the world. For example, people propose a theory of evolution, and in the theory of evolution, there is the question that they cannot answer is that how does life arise from non-life when we all accept the law of biogenesis, that life only comes from life and that of the same kind. But this theory is accepted by the scientific community. It creates a pressure where if you are
So I should just live my life with Him in it.
Yes, God being the creator is enough reason for us to want to live our life for Him. We live in his universe.
Okay.
He is the reason why we are alive. We eat his food, we live on his land, we breathe his air. Everything we do is because God is in our life. And when we consider all that he has given to us, then we must start to consider that with all this that he has assigned to us, he must definitely want an account of how we have used the things he has given to us. Because not just resources that he has given to us, he has also given us the gift of choice, where we can choose to use the things to make him or to bring glory to him, or we can ignore him and do what we want. And one brings a reward, one brings punishment. So we have the privilege of choosing how to use these resources, and we will definitely be accountable for it. So we must come to the right conclusion of we living our life enables all his children to come before his throne boldly to obtain mercy and help in time of need. Now, with this promise given to his children, the child of God has this confidence that no matter what comes my way, I will always have my Father with me, and God will never leave me no matter what is ahead of me. This is one that gives the Christian peace, joy, and a serene state of mind, such that no matter what lies in the future, God is in that future and will push me through. So the Christian life, or the life with God, is a life where you have no anxieties, because you know that you can always ask for help from your Father, and you know that even when there is a danger that you do not know, God has taken care of it, or he will guide you through it. And that's a life of fulfillment, where you know that in the end you would have achieved the purpose for which you were created. And this is the ultimate goal. This is the target that we all must pursue. What did we send to God before he gave us life?
Okay.
We gave him nothing.
Interesting.
He owns us, our body, our spirit, our every being. And every day that we are alive, we owe it to God. Every single thing we have, we sent nothing to God to receive what he has given to us.
That means we didn't buy our life.
We didn't buy our lives. We didn't. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Elon.
Yeah.
I'm really learning a lot this evening, and I hope you are also learning. Or if you have any question, you can call us on this number 056 150 5030. 056 150 5030. This is the voice of the KNUST Church of Christ, and we are searching through the scriptures this evening. And today's topic for discussion is a life without God. We've understood a lot this evening. We know who God is. God is the I am that I am, and he is the on-cause cause. Right? I really like this. Okay, so we now know God is also the creator, and he's also our life sustainer. So sake of that, we have to live a life with him in it, and we will try to live our life without God in it, but no matter how we try, it won't work for us. People have done that and it didn't end well for them. We learned from Judges, right? Is it 21?
Judges 21:25.
21:25. We learned, and we've realized that sake of sin, people try to live their life without God in it. Alright, so we'll be going for a short break, and when we come back, we will continue our discussion, and I'm sure our brothers are still prepared to help us in every question that we have. So if you have any question, jot them down. The moment we come back, you can call us on 056 150 5030.
We are 94.3 Focus FM. Focus FM.
This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand, in Christ alone, who took on flesh
right, we are back again. Let's continue our studies. So if you have any question, you can call us 056 150 5030, 056 150 5036. My name is still Emmanuel Efrie Entry, and I'm your host for tonight. And we have here once again Andy, Elom, and Christopher. And we are searching through the scriptures this evening. We want to know how we should live our life. In fact, a life without God, how it is, and should we even try to live that? We've studied a lot this evening. So I want to ask, what advice are you giving to people who are non-religious? You see, when you talk about people being religious, that means there are people who at least acknowledge there is a God. Or am I wrong? They acknowledge at least there is a God, so they have to worship Him. So what about those who don't believe, or those who don't acknowledge that fact? So the non-religious people, what advice do you people have for them? Sorry, I'll start from Christopher, then we'll continue.
So I would say that these people, they shouldn't just say that they are rejecting God because of disappointment from people. How hypocrite some people are, let me say some religions are. People say, oh, Christians today, they can say they are going to church, and then they will come back and do a whole lot of things. And because of that, that person will reject the word of God, or reject God.
So even
Alright.
final advice.
Alright. So today we've got to know who God is, what a life without God truly is, and we've got to know that we need Him in our lives. Therefore, if we do need Him in our lives, then we must obey everything that He has given to us. As our brother said in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verses 12 and 13. The only thing for man to do is to obey His commandment, because at the end of our life, He's going to judge us. He's a creator. Even we human beings, when we do create something,
Hello.
Yes, if there is any universal need, it's definitely the need to feel loved. We all want to have a relationship where we have the assurance of being cared for. And if there is anyone that can provide this for us, it is God. God is love, and He gives us the invitation that we should come to Him. And when we come to Him and we live under His shadow and we obey the commandments that He gives to us, there are so many promises that come with that. So we have no anxieties, we have hope of the future, and we have the feeling that truly there is someone out there who owns the universe and truly loves us, and no matter what comes our way, we would definitely be fine because He watches out for us. And this is only available to us when we submit to Him and we live our lives acknowledging Him. So we all must strive to reach this purpose where
things are moving smoothly, but the moment we get into the middle of the semester, things begin to get difficult.
Okay.
And most of the times, we the believers, we try to push God aside so that we can fulfill what we came to school to do. So when the assignments, all those things are coming in, we try to find time for all those things, but we don't find time for God. But we should know from our lessons today that yes, God is the sustainer of life. So whatever you do, you should bring God into it. And also, the life that we do live on campus, we should be mindful of these lives, because at the end, you will give an account for that. You are surrounded by people. You see people dressed in a way that is not modest, but we say we are in the university, a place where we come for education, we come to train ourselves, but we do certain things which is not.
we start using our time wisely right from this moment. Let's start using the time we have well, so that we would be profitable servants and good stewards of the time and privileges and opportunities that God has given unto us.
Thank you so much, Elom. So Elom is saying, set your priorities right, and also use your time wisely. Thank you, Christopher.
Okay. So once again, I welcome back all of us to campus. And then as the semester has begun, and my brother Andy's submission, he said that life without God is meaningless. And so therefore, we have to seek first his righteousness and the kingdom, so that all other things will be given unto us. So we should not lean on our own understanding, just like the book of Proverbs puts it. But then we should trust on the Lord, knowing that in all times and in all our struggles, He is with us, and then He will see us through if we truly believe in Him and then have faith in Him.
Alright, thank you so much, Christopher. Should I also give my advice? Alright, I'll also say keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Let the past semester go away with its problems and keep moving forward with God in it, of course. With God in it, of course. If you have any question, you can still call us on 056 150 5030. 056 150 5030. We are searching through the scriptures. You can also follow us live on YouTube. If you have any question too, you can kindly send it as a comment and we will answer you. And we bringing our discussion to an end. You can still call us if you have any question, or if you have anything to say, you can still call us on 056 150 5030, or you can send it through our YouTube handle, here University Church of Christ, and you will be glad to listen. Or better still, on Focus FM,